It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Benedictum from their Romanian release. Bang!
Bang!
You like that, right?
I would bang the tar out of Veronica.
Sure.
I mean, I like that song a lot.
Yeah, okay.
What are we doing here?
Well, I'm calling her up right now.
Oh, is she not on the phone? Yeah, she's a sexy bitch. No doubt about that.
Let me see.
812-619-3284.
Right.
Did I say that on the air?
You did.
I hope nobody heard that.
Hello.
Hello, Veronica. It's been a long time.
It's been far too long. Damn it.
Where the hell have you been?
On a long, dark, convoluted journey. Glad to be back.
Do you realize it's been over a year since you've been on the show?
Yeah, but I'm going to make up for it.
How are you going to do that?
Because I'm going to be on your show like so many times now that you'd be sick of me. And I'm going to do another appearance at your place.
Okay, if you say so.
In March. You just plan on it.
All right, the door is open.
Oh, it better be. And don't change the locks and shit, because I'm coming.
He'll bring the candles.
Call you and we'll book the flights and stuff, because I have flight miles. I'm coming. I'm going to go to the East Coast, got to take care of some stuff over there, and I'm going to drive over to see you. And we'll do it.
Well, Veronica, literally, it's been over a year since you've been on the show.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, you've been a frequent visitor to the show. You're you're woven into the fabric of the Classic Metal Show, and then you just disappeared, and then you were nowhere to be found, and you just became a ghost. You ghosted us.
I did. I didn't just ghost you. I had to drop off the map for a while. A lot of it was health stuff, just to be real honest, and life stuff. It was hell. I'd love to sit there and paint this rosy picture, but there was a lot of stuff with my back, and had to have a different surgery thing, and then that got a lot better. I'm really grateful, to be honest. And then different medications and stuff. You know how they have those commercials, and this medication does this, and then they have a half hour of side effects. I mean, it was well, we're going to try this, and then we're going to try that. Yeah, well, I'm the one that has all the side effects. And then I put on a lot of weight, and then I got real depressed, and then, then you have depression, and they give you this, and they give you that. Oh, please. So now you just kind of have to get back to what are the things that bring you joy, and music brings me joy. So it's been a full circle thing, but I have done everything that I could to keep my music alive, because you got to do what you got to do. So I've done the best I can, and I'm doing some other things now to get out there and still make it happen, because I'm not dead quite yet.
Well,
how have you been?
I understand, Veronica. Chris and I, we consider you a good friend of ours, but
I hope so.
but the problem, if you want to call it a problem, is that when you drop off the map like you do, and we understand everybody has their issues and whatnot, we get a little bit sad, and I can't talk for Chris, but I get a little bit sad that you had a stellar solo release out, and it came out, and we promoted it and did everything we could help you do with it, and then nothing came of it. You didn't.
That wasn't me.
Well, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that you didn't get to tour with it. You didn't get to play some shows.
You don't think that broke my heart?
Oh, well,
I was busting ass to make that. That wasn't me dropping off. I didn't drop off the map till after that, because I actually did put shows together. That's when I was in the Midwest, actually, and a shout out to Red and Jerry from the R&R show, because
we don't talk
they
about
were
those guys
very
on a-
instrumental in helping me put some shows together with the band out there to get that music out there. And then I did a show in the UK at the Hard Rock Hell Festival. So I was able to facilitate that. I just wanted to do a hell of a lot more, and it was just really difficult to get that going, because it's harder than you think. You know, had I been able to have the members of Benedictum as I was used to having, which was, you know, it's not as easy. As you get older and as lives happen and things change, and everybody had different projects going on and stuff like that, so you kind of have to put things together. I had a band from Brazil that was that I thought, man, I had all these different things happen. It wasn't just the health stuff. As far as the music was concerned, I'm trying not to be bitter. It's difficult because everything seemed so perfect, and yeah, we're there for you, we're going to do this. I was going out to L.A., we had a couple of rehearsals, and it was like perfect. These guys were badass. And then I'm going out there, and I'm feeling a vibe, and I'm like, okay, so are we good? Are we good? We're good, right? We're going to do this. And then it's like, oh, no, now we want to do our own stuff. And I'm like...
You're like, what?
You're like, what?
Tour. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, are you kidding me? So this is stuff you don't announce, because it was like you keep it under wraps till you know it's good to go. And it was right at that moment, okay, because I'm getting ready to now. You have to know how excited I was to be able to contact you guys and let you know, okay, this is going to be on. I had somebody that was getting ready to do booking. It was exactly everything that I thought was perfect. And then to have the rug pulled out from under me, it was pretty fucked up. It gutted me, and then it just kind of, you know, I have a good attitude about everything. Well, then something else will come along and all that, and you just get tired of pushing after a while, and you kind of wonder, well, maybe it's not meant to be, and something else will come together, and then something else kind of does come together, but you still gotta live, and then, you know, I have a home life, and that sometimes isn't always stellar. You know, you have to pay bills, and so it would have been a really cool thing. It didn't work out. It took time, and it didn't happen. And then you try to put something else together, and, you know, it's not perfect, but I was able to at least have some shows, and at least the vision that I had, I was able to make happen, because I knew it could work. I had to see if it could work doing the solo stuff and mixing that with the Benedictum stuff. And it did work. And one of the shows in particular, it went off really, really well. So I know that that's a good combination, because even though the Benedictum stuff's a lot heavier, it was kind of cool to be able to mix some of the solo stuff with that. So I still want to do that. And yeah, that was a real frustrating time. It was shortly thereafter that things kind of, I think it was the stress of all that plus everything else that, you know, that kind of, I don't want to say went downhill, but I'm one of those kind of people. It's hard for me to stay up on top with, like, posting and all that kind of stuff, because I'm not going to say fake stuff like, oh, everything's all perfect, when it's not. And then my fans are so cool and so concerned that when I post something that's kind of like a little downer or sad or something, everybody's so concerned that I get flooded with stuff, then I feel bad about posting that, because I don't want to bum people out. So that's kind of like how that happened.
Well, you should have pushed Jerry right off the stage. That's the first thing. And get that on video. That would have put you back in the spotlight. Jesus.
That's so wrong, but I love you for that.
I know. Well, Jerry would get it. Him and I bust on each other. He'll tell a burn joke like nobody's business, so it's all good.
Oh, my God. No.
So
yeah, they were really good to me. Talk to me.
I know things because, you know, it's been, while it may have been a year since you've been on the show, it's been, 2 days since I spoke to you.
But you know what time it is.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say and I'm not allowed to say. So what is in the works?
Okay, because you are my other home for everything, and your listeners and you're like my family and all that kind of stuff. I have been working behind the scenes to put some stuff together as well, because I haven't given up. And so out of all of this stuff, when I've been in LA, and I'm not good at making a long story short, but it was you guys that came up with this. I think it was 2 years ago when I was I at NAMM or something? And I think it was after NAMM, and I remember I was in the parking lot of some hotel. And I was on the phone with you guys, and we were talking about all the crazy, wild stuff that we talk about. And we were talking about this whole bondage type of stuff. And I was telling you about how I had been at the sanctuary in Los Angeles and all the cool stuff that I'd seen and how it blew me away and the different rooms they had and stuff like that. And it was your idea that I should do something with that and how I would be a great dominatrix and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, no. And then you started coming up with some ideas, and we were kind of joking back and forth with that. Well, over a period of the past couple of years, I've been getting some information and meeting some people, and there is a couple of wonderful women. Mistress Cyan, who runs the sanctuary, has been very instrumental in allowing me to use the facility and saying, look, Veronica, if you get stuff together, you can use the facility to film this stuff. And there's some ideas of putting something together. It's going to be, if you go on the veronicafreeman.com website, you'll see this thing that says V's World, which has been left blank for quite some time. And it was supposed to be one thing, and now I want to put something together. There is another wonderful young lady that her name is Miss Cassie, and she is a professional dominatrix, and she is badass. And she is partnering with me to give me an education, so to speak, in that. Look, I'm such a big chick. I don't even know how to talk about this without getting embarrassed. But that's kind of the whole point. The whole idea is to sort of film my journey into just learning some things about that lifestyle, about doing the kinkier side of life, so to speak. And so that's what the project basically is. And I think you came up with the word, what did you call it, softcore, Chris?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've talked about it, and I want to put that together. And I'm looking for some investment as far as we've got the basic ideas. We want to do 10 episodes that are based around basic things like, spanking and stuff like that. And basically it's just almost like in real time, me learning how to do certain things. But it's not like soft porn or anything like that. It's going to be, I want to work on the premise of my journey in taking the audience along with me, but making it fun and spicing up. There's nothing wrong with wanting to spice up the bedroom, and if you want to learn more, then there's other people that can take you down that road. But I'm just going to kind of be that liaison for that, and it should be a lot of fun. And you'll be talking to Miss Cassie later on in the show, and I'm sure she can tell you stories that I know nothing about. So I'm really looking forward to working with her, though. She's totally cool, and I just think it's just going to be a blast. And then, of course, I drop off the map with her, and I'm like, we're still going to do this? And she's like, I'm just waiting on you, V. So I really believe in the project, that it could be very cool, and looking for a videographer. I have, there's been some people that have donated generously and have got some cameras and some equipment, but I need someone to actually do the filming. The place is very dark, so I need some more lighting and stuff like that, and got people that are going to help do the editing, and just need some people to help me put this together.
I have an iPhone. Can I shoot some?
Absolutely. I'm looking for someone to be a victim in these things. Just the little nuances, how they're. Remember the unknown comic that used to have the paper bag over his head? I need an unknown victim or a known victim, just stuff like that I can, experiment on, seeing that I'm going to be learning.
Veronica,
So if I need to cuff somebody.
I feel like I have to teach you everything here, Veronica. You don't.
You're going to be the. I'm the cuffer.
You
You're
have
the
a
cuffee.
contest. You have a contest or donors.
Okay.
You need 10 volunteers, one to get spanked, one to get his nuts stomped on, one to get his nipples or whatever.
Thank you.
That's 75, 150, and 2 1/4.
Yeah, how many?
There you go.
There's a lot of guys out there who would like to get their ass spanked by the V,
You think?
and they would pay for that.
Think.
That's what I'm talking about.
They would pay for that. They would go, I would pay $500 to get my ass spanked by the V.
Especially
That's a separate business. That's a separate thing. Now, I'm not going to do anything sexual, but I do something fun like that because whatever
Veronica,
happens to you, what?
You know, I know for a fact that if you could keep their identity hidden and you promised them that you would walk away with some video of you tickling their balls with a feather, you would get 100 guys to line up and drop $250 a hit.
You think?
I absolutely.
I think it would be a hoot. I think that would be. I think it would be a blast. I already have a vision for different merchandise. There's going to be a V ball gag, V spanking paddles with my little logo on it. I think it'd be fun. Why not? I don't care. Married, gay, straight, whatever. The whole premise of this particular thing that I want to do is for people. I'll speak for myself. I know that there's a lot of people, myself included, who have preconceived ideas about things. Right. And it wasn't until I started speaking with other people that my mind was a little bit expanded. And I know that sometimes, even if you're very much in love or whatever, or you think you know somebody, there's certain things that you can't, that maybe you think, if I approach this person with this idea, they're going to think I'm a freak, or you're afraid that they're going to think wrongly of you or take it the wrong way, and it causes a problem. But they may be thinking, well, I wouldn't mind spicing things up a little bit either. And how do you bridge that gap? How do you make that happen? And it doesn't mean you have to go get your freak on way on the far end of the spectrum, but maybe you want to go on the far end of the spectrum, but you don't know how to broach the subject. And so, and then what are those things that people do? It doesn't make you a bad person. Maybe you like something real, there's a particular thing that is really, really excites you, but you feel bad about it, and you shouldn't have to feel bad about it. Do you know what I mean?
Veronica, let me just tell you, I'm not listening to any of this because now my mind is racing.
You're still stuck.
I think you could get $500 to $1,000 easily, wearing all leather, and playing the song "Bang" and whacking somebody on the ass every time you say "bang" in the song.
Absolutely.
I think somebody would pay $500. What do you think? Would somebody pay $500 for that?
Easily. I would pay $500 to get my balls spanked by the V while she played "Bang." Leather paddle, bent over a what is that? What is that horse you speak about in your?
The Berkeley.
The Berkeley horse, getting my balls spanked by the V while she plays "Bang," and she says "Bang" and "Spank," "Bang," "Spank." $500.
$500 easy for 5 minutes.
I don't doubt that, but you asked me what my little project was, and now this would be the side business. That would be awesome. Would you want to set this up as like my manager or something? You get a percentage.
This could be part of the video series. This could absolutely be part of the video series. People would pay to watch it.
You really think? See, you're on a different track, but this might be the better track.
I'll just tell you straight up, Veronica. I love porn. I love porn.
Oh,
love it. I can't watch enough porn. Believe if there was a way to have NBC broadcast porn, that would be my channel. Okay?
Oh my God.
Love it. But softcore porn is almost more alluring than hardcore porn. Because hardcore porn, you just see, okay, another pussy being stretched. Okay, big fucking deal. You get bored with that after a while. Softcore shit, I'm just going to tell you, there is an absolute reason that the Red Shoe Diaries lasted as long as it did, and Emmanuel series and all that stuff from HBO and Skinamax and all that stuff. And it's because it showed enough, and it showed enough kink without going into, the dirtiness of getting.
Yeah, it left a little to the imagination.
To the imagination,
right? Exactly.
Right. I'm all about that. I don't particularly. I agree with you. I don't want to go down that road of. I just don't want to be seen like that. I have my own inhibitions, a lot of them, which is why I would so like to do something like this. It would be good for me. God, I can sit there. I always end up telling you everything about myself. I don't watch porn that much. I think it has a lot to do with how I feel about myself. If I felt it, I know you may not believe me, whatever you may think of me, I don't particularly, if I felt better about myself or about my body, I think I wouldn't be as
self-conscious
about it. I think that when someone wants to look at porn, the first thing I think is, I don't look at it like, oh, this is going to enhance our moment together. I look at it like, why do you have to look at somebody? Look, I'm getting all emotional. Why do you have to look at somebody else to get aroused? Am I not good enough for you? That's how I see it. I know a lot of people probably do.
That's a chick way of thinking.
Attitude.
That's a chick attitude.
Oh, but you get it, right?
Yeah, you're a chick.
Yeah, but it's wrong. It's wrong because nobody's looking. Nobody that has pussy that they can just get is watching porn to get aroused enough to go bang their chick. That's not the point. That isn't the point. Half the time, it's just looking for something else to do.
Okay, run that by me again. What?
A lot of time.
So why?
Watch porn to fucking find something else to do that you're not doing. Looking for an idea.
Well, then, I would say something, but that's going to be because I don't have any lack of ideas.
Yeah, but once you
that's why I rarely have to watch it. Maybe that's why my partner doesn't watch it that much. But I'm not gonna lie either. There's been times where if I'm by myself, I can't say that I haven't checked it out because I'm like, okay. But as a regular watcher of it, no.
Where do you go looking, Veronica? X-Hamster?
What?
X-Hamster?
What is that?
That's a good porn site, or a decent one. You ever go there, or xvideos.com, or?
No, every now and then, that's usually when I'm on Ambien. I'll have an Ambien moment, and then the next day I'll go, what the hell was I? What? And I have to clear out the cache because I have all these viruses on my computer, but we're not talking about that right now.
Let me tell you something, Veronica. Yeah. You got a girl like Ronda Rousey, who's like a fighter. Are you familiar with her?
Yes, I know. Okay, yeah.
All right. So she's out there kicking ass on another chick. But there's a lot of guys probably, looking at Ronda Rousey and said, man, I would pay $500, $1,000 to have that girl kick my ass like the way she's doing in the ring.
Right here's one of them.
Yeah,
right.
There you go. She's hot. She's, she's like dominating, I guess is the word.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kicking ass, and it's just like, man, if I had that girl in my bedroom kicking ass, I'd pay $1,000 for that easily.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
I'd pay $1,000 just to lick the lines in her belly. Ronda Rousey is fucking stunningly hot.
There you go. So there's Chris. He's one of those guys who was just like, I'd pay $1,000 for Ronda Rousey to kick my ass all over the room.
I'm not even kidding. I would pay $1,000 just to lick the fucking cuts in her stomach once. For 30 seconds. 30 seconds, it'd be worth $1,000. As long as I had a photo.
Okay. Good to know.
Love me some Rousey.
Wow. Okay, well, moving on. We will be talking about this some more, about streamlining these different sections of the site, because I can tell people that you built the site, right?
Yeah,
so
sure. No, you can't. Take it back. Cut it out.
Just did. So, that being said, then we're going to have to break it down into those different sections, because I want those episodes, and then there'll be another area. I mean, I would absolutely have a blast whooping somebody's ass and then getting paid. Oh, hell, that would be a blast. I did get an offer for a couple of grand to go out to Italy and whoop someone's ass. But they only had enough money for the ass whooping. They didn't have enough money for my flight, so I was like, you need to save up enough money to pay for my expenses, honey.
Why didn't they fly out here? You should have had them fly out here.
Well, either way, he didn't have enough money for travel, so.
Yeah, but better for him to fly out here than get you out there and not have enough money to get you home.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and then I'd be in a stranger in a strange land and never know, I might get kidnapped. So you never know. You know how this stuff goes.
Then you'd have to suck cock for a plane ticket. That wouldn't be fun.
Oh God, no. I don't know. I don't know the airline. Just saying.
You are a fun one, Veronica. You really are.
See, but you bring out the best worst in me, and it's like this truth serum. But but that's what's going on. And I know you're going to be talking to Mike LaPond later, and I am so honored to be on his next solo record too. So I was out in New Jersey. I love New Jersey, and got to sing on his new record. So I'm looking forward to when that comes out. And so I do have stuff going on. It's all like in the works, and so now I'm thinking about doing a little fundraising thing again. But I don't want to like only time she comes on CNS when she's begging for money. So let me see what I can do. I am thinking about. I mean, it's Los Angeles, for goodness sake. There's got to be people like some interns that would love to go to someplace like the Sanctuary and take footage of people getting things done unto them. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm telling you.
I mean, maybe some of your listeners, and you're right. You're right. Maybe there could be a contest to have, because someone has to be, I don't want to say victim, but the subject. Someone has to be the person that I'm doing things to, as Cassie or someone else that specializes in that particular field. I mean, one episode is just going to be dedicated to the equipment room. The equipment room there, in and of itself, was fascinating. I got to stay there as a guest dominatrix. I got to stay in the guest dominatrix quarters. I'm not a dominatrix, so I was offered to stay there over a weekend, which was really an honor, just to check stuff out. And that was probably one of the most eye-opening times.
So did you get to go in?
I can't even express it. I was blown away.
Did you get to go in and watch while they were like doing somebody or doing whatever they do?
I'll tell you exactly what I witnessed. And it's because of what I saw, the professionalism that I saw. I know you're wanting to hear all this down and dirty. It wasn't like that. There was the down and dirty, but it wasn't like that. I saw professionals. I saw people coming there that were of. It wasn't. It's just. It was amazing what I got to witness, and I talked to you. That's when you and I had that falling out, Chris. I had talked to you the next day because it was a total difference between what I witnessed, which was their regular people or their class. Had a chance to meet Miss Cassie because she was teaching a rope class. Her specialty, she does many things, but her specialty is erotic rope. I didn't even know. This is just me, my ignorance. I didn't know there was such a thing. And then I got to see that. That was totally cool. And in the evening, they had this fully like catered thing with tables, with food and wine and all this stuff. And they had, it was, I think, I'm trying to think of what the name of it. I think it was female dominatrix, pick your dominatrix party or whatever. The premise was the men were there, and it was the female dominatrix. So there was all of them, and all the men were there, and they were not clothed very much, like mostly, and they were like kneeling on the ground, but they got to choose. They're kneeling on the ground, and everyone was, yes, mistress, and I'm like, they're like, yes, you need to allow them to address you as such, and I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, I don't want anybody to talk to me. I was scared. I was sweating. I was so scared. And they get to, once everybody introduced themselves and all that stuff, then they get up and they pick who they want to, quote unquote, play with, and they go to a room, and then you start hearing noises and things going on, and it was totally cool. Right after, or actually before that, there was a spanking session, and this was the coolest, most fun thing. At the time, I was nervous as hell, so I must have gone through like an entire bottle of Chardonnay. They lined up, because they have a full-on sound stage there, and they've even filmed like music videos there and stuff. It's totally cool. So they have the guys, bare ass and everything, standing around the perimeter of the stage in order of, the order was how they wanted, how the severity of the spanking that they wanted. So at one end, it was like light spanking to medium hard to hard, blah, blah, blah. And then the guys that wanted the really, like, want to be, show bruising or be marked the next day, they would be, like, on the stage. There would be only, like, 3 or 4 of them. But they wanted to be, like, thrashed. And the ladies would line up and just start tapping and spanking these asses, and they're like, Veronica, come on, don't be scared. And I'm like, are you kidding? And I mean, some of these asses were just like absolutely incredible. And I'm like, then I started to get my little rhythm on, and when you, after each person was done, they turn around, thank you, mistress, thank you, ma'am, thank you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I could get used to this. And then I went down, and then after, towards the end of the line, I didn't get a chance, because I'm not professional, to go up on the stage and spank the guys that are into the real rough stuff. But right. I went to a certain area of the line where it was, the harder spanking and stuff, because I didn't even feel, I was like, I'm not going to spank anyone any harder than that. But it was just absolutely fascinating, and they were like totally digging it. And then after that part was done, that's when they chose whoever they wanted to do their particular stuff with, and they did their thing, and everybody was happy. And but it was like clockwork, and it was totally cool.
Here's what I don't understand, Veronica, and I'm asking. I really don't understand.
Okay.
What part of it was fascinating? Is it the fact that these guys are just lining up to get beat up, or is it the simulated abuse, or is it the fact that these powerful guys turn into such fucking children that they need to be dominated by a quote-unquote mommy figure?
All of the above, and the fact that it was such a well-oiled machine as far as from the business standpoint, as far as the wine and cheese plates being laid out, as far as the business aspect of it, as far as you arrive on time, you buy your ticket, everybody knowing exactly what needs to be done, you just robe over here, them on their knees, the pageantry of it, the women in their different outfits, everybody had their own style. I mean, some of these women, big, tall, small, dark, light, some were so friggin' I was like, damn, she could be, whoa. And then other ones I'm like, whoa, young, old. And it was not necessarily based on what you would see in a movie, like a Hollywood movie, like, oh, she's like Hollywood beautiful. But there was more of the essence of like these women's sexuality or their power. And there were some women, maybe they weren't 34, 24, 36, but the ones that people gravitated towards, you could tell were the ones that were pros that had been doing it for a long time and knew how to subjugate their men. It was absolutely, like you were saying, it was a power thing. It was absolutely amazing to watch. And yes, it was the fact of seeing these men, because I didn't know some of these people, but the next day I recognized some of the faces of the people that were there, because I either worked there or came to pick up someone else that worked there, and then they're in their suits or they're in their regular clothes, and I'm like, oh, that was so-and-so that was here. And it just like the normal, walking down the aisle at the grocery store, it was really a trip. And it's just a different aspect of their life, just like going to get your oil changed at your car.
Right.
It was totally, but in a good way, not in a dirty, sleazy way. What I found dirtier and sleazier, I'll just put it this way, had bad energy for me, where the people seemed fake. They were rude because I was helping them they rented the place out to a sex industry party.
Right.
Those people were totally different. Those people were like, I could do without that. Everybody it was like being at like a Hollywood thing. Everybody's like vying for the attention of somebody else, probably to get hired, to get the job. It seemed real cutthroat. It seemed so fake. I hadn't seen more silicone and plastic, and even with the guys, I mean, I think they were probably even worse. Just posturing and the whole thing. It was sickening to me, and rudeness of standing in line to get a drink, and the way they treated me, because I was even helping take out the trash, because I don't care. I just wanted to help my friends out at the time. And, you're being very rude. Excuse me, I think you touched me with that trash bag. And I'm like, oh, bitch, please. I was ready to throw down in the parking lot and get ghetto with somebody. It was like, are you kidding me? Bitch, please. She touched me with that trash bag. Seriously? But it is what it is.
Yeah, so, don't be looking at me all crooked.
Don't be looking at me all crooked. Yeah, you remembered. I love you.
Is your interest in this come from like your personal life? Like, does the German make you give him a swap with his riding crop or something?
That's going to be for another show.
Is that a yes?
But wait. Let me see if I can find it. Let me go in the other room. I do have a brand new crop, and it has a rhinestone handle. This is amazing. I enjoy doing that stuff. I have a spanking paddle that has a little heart-shaped thing in it. So when you hit it, if you hit hard enough, the next day there's like a little heart-shaped red spot. It's really cool. But you didn't hear that from me.
Does he make you give him a swat every now and again while he's singing Gravedigger tunes?
I'm just... He deserves it. Does he make me? I make him take it. What are you talking about? I think you're getting something confused here.
Sorry.
But that's for another conversation.
Nice.
So we got to get, we need to raise funds for this, because this will be fun. But, yeah, you guys are going to have to get involved with some management of the other part of this thing, because it's like I get the idea, but I don't think I would have the confidence to, I just don't see it. It's like, how would I do that? But then you come up with these ideas, and I go, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
so
who doesn't want to take a good spank from the V?
Well, I want to see what your listeners have to say. Let them who would take a spank.
Let's put it this way, Veronica. How much? What would it cost for 5 minutes of spanking? Just 5 minutes of erotic spanking. What would you want to charge?
$100 a minute.
No, I think that'd be fair.
That's too much. $100 a minute.
$100 a minute. A minute's a long time if you're really getting spanked.
But I'm not saying beat their ass like they're a fucking school kid that broke a girl's pencil.
All right, let me tell you. This is the other thing I learned too. It's all about the client. This is a business transaction, and I don't mean like prostitution. I mean like this is a pleasure thing to where if what you want is to be tickled with a feather. So what I would charge was, because I would want to make this person, this is a specialty thing. So I wouldn't charge $100 a minute, but for 5 minutes,
maybe
I'd
$100.
$100, $200.
Yeah, because it wouldn't all be that. I mean, part of it is the whole ambiance of it.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So like $100 for 5 minutes of, it would be like, the way it would be sold is, and I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I've never done this, but it would be sold as like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, a 10-minute session with Mistress Veronica, who will provide spankings or this or that. You know, you're selling a session that guarantees a certain punishment.
I have a vision in my head on how I would do things, and that's why Miss Cassie, who is in the real world of this, I want to learn so much from her and then take it to whatever level. I mean, I don't mean as far as what I would do, but it's more of the ambiance you create. One of the other things I learned just by being down there, which adds to the whole legitimacy of how the whole process is done, is there's like a whole intake process. I mean, and think about it. One of the things that I learned in her rope class, and it's just like, duh, but you think, oh, rope class, tie me up, baby, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. There's a whole medical intake. What if you have some kind of injury, and so she's tying you up and you have some kind of problem with your shoulder and it comes out of joint? What if you have some kind of problem, osteoporosis thing, and your bones are really brittle and blah, 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 or you have some kind of issues, and so she has to pay particular attention to a certain area so that you're not in the wrong kind of pain. And I'm like, I never would have thought of that. And so you either fill out papers or you do some sort of intake to where the person can get an idea of what's going on with you psychologically and physiologically, so that it's that much more, so that you can totally let go, and that she, as the person that's providing the service, has the full knowledge so she can get in state with you as well. And it becomes that much more of an experience, because that's what you're paying for, is that experience. So it's totally, it's just a whole different thing. And I want to share the fascination I had with learning about stuff like that. I mean, that to me was like, really? Wow. And about the endorphins that are released, and how it's very much like how a runner, a marathon runner, you get to a certain point, and then all of a sudden the endorphins kick in, and your body keeps going even when it shouldn't, and that you almost get it's like a high. And so certain people, that's exactly, you can almost get addicted to that certain sort of thing. And then, but it lasts for a certain amount of time only, and you have to know when to stop, when the body will only produce so much of this certain endorphin, and then you have to let it, you have to stop so that you can like reload, so to speak. And then, if done right, then it can actually last. That kind of euphoria or that point in your body can last for a day or so. So it's very, very interesting thing. That stuff fascinates me, but I didn't know any of that stuff. So I just found the whole thing fascinating. I thought, wow, I'd like to share this with other people, but not from like, oh, this is dirty. Like, oh, this is kind of fascinating. I wouldn't mind learning more about some of this stuff. I didn't know the difference between, I thought a flogger and a cat of nine tails and all that. I thought they were the same thing. That there's tons of people that know much more than me, but I know there's a lot of people that don't. So it's for those that don't that I'd like to have a little series of educational stuff to make it fun, and that's what I want to do.
So what is the rat experience worth dollar-wise, and how many lashes would you give Bobby Blotzer for trying to steal the rat name from the other rat guys, Stephen Piercy, Juan Crucier, and Warren D. Martini? What is that worth?
I'd let you be my manager. I would just dole out the punishment. You would have to tell me how many lashes that I would have to administer. And with what veracity.
Right.
So you guys would have to come up with that.
I think
I'll just be, and then with what type of instrument I would have to deal that punishment. Am I going to have, like, that's what I was just saying, am I going to use a flogger? Am I going to use a cat of nine tails? Or am I going to use, like, an actual bull whip?
If we're talking Blotzer, I'm going to suggest you use the tools they used in the Passion of the Christ.
I think you should use a drumstick and beat his ass raw.
Or a nail gun.
Wow. This is... It's always, you know... Did you... Yeah. Never a dull moment. I just... Wow.
How is it that we always stump you, V? How is that?
I don't know, because I'm just like a big puppy. I come and I trust you. I love you and I trust you, and you do this to me every time.
I've hung out with you on several occasions, and you seem like a woman of the world. And, but when you come on the show, you seem like you're actually stunned by the shit that we say on here, and it should never be a surprise. Never should be a surprise.
But
it's just like, I expect that from you guys, you sick fucks.
I do expect it, but because the mindset that I had, if you know how nervous I get, that's why I was actually relieved when you were like, okay, well, you're going to go on a little bit early, because I was completely useless for half a day. I went to Home Depot. I did what I had to do. I have some bunch of stuff that I had to do with work and put together these presentations and stuff like that.
Very sexy.
I was absolutely couldn't concentrate on anything else because I know I'm doing this. And I get so nervous, and it's like I am a different person. I'm like this big puppy. I'm like this big kid, and I can't help it. That other V just doesn't show up. The little kid V shows up, but it's cool. I kind of dig it because it's fun for me. It's like this is kind of like how I really am, and I am this trusting, wide-eyed, goofy person. And then you say stuff, and I just go, oh God! And I get, if you were here, you'd say I really get embarrassed and I'm turning red or whatever. But I love it, and sometimes I don't.
If it helps, Veronica, whenever I think of you, I also think of big puppies. So.
Why? That I did expect. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, Veronica. Your manager's telling us you got to go.
Okay. Now, did you get that song I sent you?
I did. I got it.
Do you have time to play it, or you're not going to play it?
No, of course. I'll play it.
Okay. Just an FYI. It's just, I was, a shout-out to my friend Ed, and I did out on White Plains, New York, did a guest spot on a song, and then it kind of morphed into, well, maybe we could do something different. It's a lot heavier than stuff that I'm used to doing, so it's just a rough mix, but it's like a minute's worth of something that we're working on, and that might be something that I'm going to delve in as well, just to keep out there and doing stuff. So, I don't know. Kind of let me know what you think about it.
I don't know. I ran into your bassist back in October or November, and he's just like, yeah, Veronica's like MIA. We can't be doing shit.
What?
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 I was out in Phoenix in November.
I'm waiting for him. He's coming home. We're getting ready to try to book a local show here. What are you talking about?
And he's just like, yeah, you spoke to Veronica? I said, no, haven't heard from her. Yeah, neither have I. She's like MIA.
He's the one that's out there playing in all these different bands. Please, don't even go there. Now you're going to get the old mean V back. Don't go there. We like the puppy V better. Oh, everybody's wonderful and the world is perfect. Please don't make me look at you all crooked.
Well, I wanna follow up this minute and a half worth of tunage with one of your tunes.
Yeah.
So what should I play from your V record?
From the V record, play King for a Day.
Okay. Well,
'Cause after I whoop your ass, you'll feel like, oh.
I would feel like a king for the day if
King
you
for a
whipped
day.
my ass, please.
I know you would.
Who wouldn't love that? Who wouldn't love to be
For a
whipped?
brief moment in time, as you're laid over my knee, ass exposed, paddle in my hand, whooping your ass.
Right.
As it turns bright pink, and you could think as I'm going bang, bang.
Exactly.
I mean, life doesn't really get much better than that.
I think I just came on my pants.
And my bank account's just going cha-ching.
Exactly.
Cha-ching.
Exactly.
Yep. I'm seeing my dream car pulling into my driveway. Yeah, I think it's going to work for me. You think?
You think? Yeah, I'll be your
Yeah.
first customer.
I
Good.
think you should be. And Chris, you're my manager.
All right.
Okay, we make it all work.
All
Get
right.
on it.
But you know what you're going to have
Thanks,
to
you
do to
guys.
earn those paychecks.
I know what I have to do. You just need to get on it.
Oh, believe me, I'll get on it.
Goodbye.
All right, we'll talk to you,
I
mate.
love you guys.
All right.
Bye,
Don't
sweetheart.
be a stranger.
Carry on.
All right.
Be good to Miss Cassie, too, and be good to Mike. Be good to my people.
All right.
All right, Veronica.
Okay.
We'll talk
I love
again.
you.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.